Hello, everybody. I'm Eric.
And I'm Alice.
And we are back with another edition of Tea Time with Kutcher Travels. So, on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about our recent vacation. Yes, we went on vacation again. Over to Las Vegas. Now, this was actually our first time ever in Las Vegas. I've been trying to get this woman to go with me for over 20 years. And finally, I bribed her by saying, if you come to Vegas with me this time, I will grant you 3 extra hours on your birthday to come along. So we hopped on a plane on her birthday and gained those 3 extra hours and spent a week in Vegas.
And trust me, he wished me happy birthday continuously during those 3 hours, as often as he could. But yeah, as he was saying, we did spend last week down in Las Vegas. Some people, if you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, might have seen some of our posts, some of the stories that we did of the different hotels and different things that we saw and took in over there.
And it was definitely an action-packed week. Mm-hmm. We ended up staying at 2 different resorts. The resorts that we stayed at were the MGM Grand and the Palazzo at the Venetian. And want to talk about the photos here?
Well, basically for the photos, we have just a couple quick views of the resort and the rooms. The MGM sign, obviously, from the Strip. The MGM room is the double beds. We had a great view from that window of the Strip, right across the way. I can't remember which resort it was that we saw across the way.
The Aria and also Planet Hollywood.
Yep. And we were in this. The good thing about MGM was we had a lot of good things in the casino. It also has one of the best pools on the Strip. And then over on the right hand of the screen, you're going to see the lobby of the Palazzo at the Venetian, and then one of the shots of our room. The Palazzo, we had a beautiful suite. Basically, it was set up where you had like a living room area that was like 2 steps down from the rest of the room. Then you had the bedroom was off in its own little section of room, and a beautiful bathroom that had a tub, had a stand-in shower,
had a TV in the bathroom.
Yep, had TV in the bathroom, and then it had its own separate water little closet there. It was amazing. And then a built-in vanity section there, so you could sit down, do your makeup, put your contacts in, that kind of stuff. It was a gorgeous room.
Yeah. So a couple of things with MGM Grand versus the Palazzo at the Venetian that we noticed. MGM Grand was a nice hotel. Mm-hmm. Not trying to knock anything about it.
Yeah, it was very nice. It was pleasant. The beds were comfortable. The view was nice. Both hotels had a pad to control the curtains. So you could have like either just a sheer curtain down, so if you wanted to block some of the sunlight, or they had a blackout curtain that went down with it, so you didn't have to see any of the sunlight. So if you're a few hours time difference, you didn't have to deal with sunrise or sunset.
Mm-hmm. But the difference was a couple of things. One, MGM Grand, what we found was the staff there compared to the staff at Venetian was a little less on the helpful side. Mm-hmm. When we arrived at MGM Grand, our television was not working, which no big deal. Mm-hmm. But
by the time we got to the room, it was like 2 a.m. Las Vegas time, so like 5 a.m. here, so we were zonked. So we were in desperate need for sleep.
Yep, made a quick phone call down to let them know, and it took over an hour of multiple phone calls before we finally said, hey, you know what, I'm sorry, we need to get some sleep now. but no real response from them, which was a little bit of a downer. The buffet was very good at MGM Grand. The one thing that I was kind of surprised about, though, was the buffet at MGM Grand and at several places on that strip were open for breakfast and lunch. And none of them were really open for dinner except for two. The two that were open for dinner had very extravagant dinners and also very extravagant pricing on those buffets.
But the MGM one was
MGM
good.
Grand one was good. Just know if you're going there, plan on going there for brunch. Do not plan on using that as your option for dinner.
Yeah.
They had a very nice food court. They had, which was 24/7. They had
several Starbucks.
multiple Starbucks. And it was a nice hotel, nice experience. Definitely for the middle of the road level price range, it would be worth it. Anything above that, it probably wouldn't.
Plus, it also depends on what kind of hotels you're used to staying at. So if you're used to like a Marriott, a Hilton, for decor, for comfort, this would be more up your alley. So that, like, you know, it's a decent hotel. It's like right there at a decent level, but it's not going to give you that wow factor. But however, it does have the best pool on the strip.
Yes.
It did have a lazy river, had a whole like pool complex. And then if you're going down just to see like David Copperfield, things like that, they're right there in the their theater is right there in the casino. So it all depends on what you're planning on doing. But it is definitely a great option. And we're happy that we stayed there.
Absolutely. The Venetian is like towards the top.
Yes.
That suite that we were in was probably over 1,000 square feet. And it had the TVs in the bathroom, the bedroom, the living room. It had the separate tub for two and glass shower, the vanity in the bathroom.
The his and her sinks in the bathroom as well. So it made getting ready, getting together in the morning much easier. Yep. So if you're someone that's, you know, you're don't have a lot of time and you're going to be together in the bathroom as a couple, you know, you can brush your teeth at the same time. You can do the hair, makeup, all that stuff at the same time without any concern.
And the other thing with the room that we had in the Venetian that I'm surprised you didn't mention, my dear, they had a itty bitty tiny thing called the walk-in closet that was huge. It was like half the size of our bedroom at home. So.
It seemed like half the size of the bathroom from the MGM. So it was a nice closet. We stored all the luggage in there. There was a desk out in the bedroom area, so that had plenty of space there.
Yep.
Yeah,
and
it
then
was just...
Even the living room had a sectional couch and a thing that you could put your feet on to... Coffee table.
I know, you don't believe them. And then they also had a little table there with two chairs. So if you had room service, you had a little bistro type size table where you could have your lunch or brunch, whatever you ordered. The couch also did pull out. So this room could fit more than two. So probably 4. But it depends on how much privacy you want, because there was no wall enclosing the bedroom or separating it from the living room.
Yeah.
So it would be something where if you don't mind that non-privacy as a family or a bunch of friends gather, it is a great style for room. Plus the view we had was great. We saw Treasure Island. It was directly across. Same thing. We had those blackout curtains that we had the control panel for which was really great because they had it right by the bed.
Mm-hmm.
So when you roll over in the morning, you could open up the curtains, or if you forgot to close them, you don't have to get out of bed. And then they had one as you were stepping down into the living room. So it was a great open floor plan.
Absolutely. So let's talk about some of the fun things that we did while we were in Vegas.
Now, people that have heard me say about Vegas is, why would I go jump on a plane, go to a different time zone when I had 2 casinos right in state, plus one just across the border in Springfield?
Well, we did gamble a couple of days.
Very little.
Very little. Actually made about $70.
Mm-hmm.
And but in addition to that, we saw 2 shows. We saw David Copperfield, and we also saw Cirque du Soleil Mystere show, which the photo on the picture on the bottom right of the screen is from that Mystere show.
Yeah, the oversized snail.
Yeah. Then we also saw the Fountain show at night at the Bellagio. We did Madame Tussauds Wax Museum, which there's me with the Hulk. And we also did a gondola ride, which is the other photo in the top left corner. The gondola rides at the Venetian, there's actually the ability to do a outdoor gondola ride, which we did, or an indoor gondola ride that goes around the inside. Best way I could describe it is like a mall. Yep.
They're I think it's St. Mark Square.
Yeah.
Or I might be off on the name, but it's Saint something.
Yeah.
Square, and it's meant to be where we didn't get a chance to see it, but occasionally they do have like performers out there singing, juggling. It's meant to be this big square of entertainment, and then you have the little gondola spot for them to go through and everything, and see the shops and people watch and everything like that.
So, other things to do on the Strip if you're there that we did not get a chance to do because we just ran out of time. But there's tons of shows, any type of show you could think of, from hypnotists to comedians to other Cirque du Soleil options, concerts, tons and tons and tons of shows.
I know at the MGM that Brad Garrett has a comedy club there that we did not get a chance to take a look at.
Then there's also the High Roller Ferris wheel. There's zip lining for the adventurous people. There's the Adventure Dome Amusement Park and Circus with their midway. You go to the top of the Eiffel Tower or the top of the Stratosphere if you want to get a great view as well of the Vegas Strip. And at the top of that Stratosphere, they actually have multiple rides, I guess you would call them, where they actually have one where you're strapped in and then they take you over the top of the Stratosphere, so you're literally looking down on the Vegas Strip from the top of the Stratosphere, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. Speaking of those things where you're looking down at something, now we decided, since we were there, to go see something that wasn't part of the casino, wasn't part of the Strip. So we went out to Grand Canyon, and they have this amazing thing called the Skywalk. So the Skywalk is basically this half circle walkway that goes out onto the canyon. You can see it in the bottom right there, a shot of it. There in the center of that walkway, it is clear glass, and that they say that glass is strong enough to hold, I think it was 10 757s, fully loaded, heaviest weight on them. So it's very secure. To ensure that no breakages happen or any cracks or scratches that are done, you cannot take anything personal out there. So they have a locker that's available for you to put your things in. Cell phones, wallet, keys, anything that you have on your body that's not your clothing has to go in there. Then the only thing you're allowed to carry out there is the key to the locker, which goes around your wrist. And then they make you put on little booties slip-on booties over your shoes, so that way there is no scratching done to that floor. Then they have people taking pictures of you that you can either do a picture or no picture. Picture you stand in line and waiting for the next photographer, and they do some silly poses. There were some where people were sitting on the ground and leaning over, looking like they were falling. Some where that looked like the spouse was pushing the other spouse. That kind of fun stuff. But it was a really interesting experience. Sometimes there was some people that were very hesitant of going out there. Like myself, I was better on the edging where I could hold the railing, and also it was the solid, like blue or white colored flooring below me where I didn't have to look. Though I did get to the end and then look down from there where it was an amazing view when I did look, but I was not uncommon. I was not the only person that was hesitant.
Definitely not.
I don't know how the photographers stay out there all day on there, but they do a great job.
Yeah, it was definitely an experience. Extremely proud of you for
I did get my shirt.
doing it.
I did it shirt.
Yeah. I know that there was a woman in front of us that refused to do it at the very end.
And she was with a large family.
She was with a large family. But it's something where I'm very glad that I did it once and survived and got photos taken and a shirt. And that's all that matters. It was absolutely positively stunning out there. It's just something where if you're even the slightest bit afraid of heights, it may not be for you to do.
Yeah. But they have some good railings, and the photographers are very sweet and good-natured about it. They will gladly hold your hand to help you feel more secure walking across. And then even the other people that were on there that were walking, we did a bus tour. So some of the people we had seen throughout the course of the day, and then there was others we just happened to run into because they were at the same spot, same time kind of deal. But everybody was good-natured about it. Everybody was laughing and enjoying it and living in the moment. So the spouses that were saying, okay, you're going to be fine, and giving the pep talk to each other, some of the husbands were tag teaming on giving the pep talks to their wives at the same time. And they were couples that had never met before that moment. So it was a great experience where everyone was just enjoying the moment.
Yes. And then we had a barbecue lunch where you could see all 360 degrees of the Grand Canyon all around you while you were having the lunch, which was incredible. We also visited the Hoover Dam during that tour, which was also a great experience. And it was...
the Hoover Dam part, we just saw like the outside from the bridge there, that one that's named after two people. That one actually was kind of a little, nerve-wracking too, because the bridge is there's only a cement wall between you and the highway. So that goes over there. So it's a little bit nerving when the cars and tractor trailers are going very fast by you. But it is a beautiful experience when you realize this is a man-made structure from how many years ago, and how technology has grown so much since then, and what we could do back then.
Oh yeah, definitely. And while we were out there, we also decided to rent a vehicle. So we went on a couple of other excursions as well. First one was over to Red Rock Canyon. Red Rock Canyon was absolutely mind-bogglingly stunning. I actually personally felt more in touch with nature at Red Rock Canyon than I did at Grand Canyon. And that's saying something.
Yeah. Well, with Red Rock, you're able to get out of the car and go up to the rock features, get up close and personal, and you see how small you are in comparison to these enormous rock formations. It's just stunning. And then the beautiful shades of red that were on some of them from the sandstone and everything. It was just amazing.
Definitely.
So it was definitely worth the drive.
And then one other drive that we went on was over to the Valley of Fire State Park. Both of these drives were about a 45 minute drive, but definitely well worth it. Valley of Fire State Park, you could get out of the vehicle at a couple of points. They had one area at Valley of Fire State Park that was actually used in the Star Trek Generations movie. And
actually, they had a whole list of movies. Generation was just the one that caught us because it was a movie we both enjoyed, and we could actually see the parts where Captain Kirk and Jean-Luc Picard are going through and climbing the mountains and everything like that towards the end of the movie. You could see exactly where it was. So,
and those, again, the rock formations, and they had one formation that was Seven Sisters that you could actually see look like carvings of women in these huge rocks.
Yeah, and the thing is, the fact that it wasn't even something hand carved. These are just things that were weathered away over time. And it was the Valley of Fire was a different feel to it than the canyons, either one.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was more like, this is what's weathered, this is what erosion has done to it. You got to see different to it.
So, and then one other thing that's I was surprised about was that when you're out in Las Vegas, you're actually only a 3 to 4 hour drive from both Salt Lake City, Utah, and Anaheim, California. I can't tell you how many times we heard a radio commercial for Disneyland on the radio when we were out there.
Yeah.
So for us, if we were to get in the car and drive to like Atlantic City, for example, or up to Vermont, these are drives that we'll do for like a weekend drive, and to them, they could do that for a weekend drive to either Salt Lake City or Anaheim or even over to Phoenix. So
yeah, the good thing is if they're trying to do like a generational trip and stuff like that, they're catching a few shows in Vegas, go to some of the state parks, all that fun stuff. They can do that and then rent a car, drive the 4 hours, and go to Disneyland, go to California Adventure, spend a few days there, and then
fly home.
Exactly. It's make the most out of those few days so you don't have to deal with the time change more than once.
Exactly. So those were some of the things that we enjoyed over in Vegas and surrounding areas. And definitely reach out to us if you have any interest in visiting Vegas. The emails are below. Alice at KutcherTravels.com or Eric at KutcherTravels.com. We'd be very happy to assist you.
Additionally, we do have on our Facebook page some more pictures of our time in Vegas, as well as a room tour of the Venetian, the Palazzo at Venetian. So if you want to see a little bit more about the room that we were staying in, and we did answer some questions on the Facebook Live there, definitely check us out at Kutcher Travels on Facebook.
And
that's pretty much it then.
Yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Tea Time. And we look forward to next time.
All right. Take care, everyone.
Have a great night.
Bye bye.